Hey everyone, Rarity Dash here, time for another RWBY Volume 6 Blind Reaction. And today I'm looking at Chapter 5 of Volume 6, titled The Coming Storm. And with that title, things do not sound so good. There's gonna be a storm. I'm guessing it's gonna be both a literal storm, like a snowstorm, a blizzard that comes to this farm, and the girls and Crow and Oscar are gonna have to hunker down and endure it, all the while the emotions are raging from everything that happened in terms of what they learned. And there's probably also going to be a more figurative, more metaphorical storm brewing as well in the background with the other stuff going on, maybe more villain stuff, and that could be an interesting complication, I guess. Yeah. Definitely going to be fun. I mean, we got a lot of setup last time, not really much to sink our teeth into, especially compared to the episode before, but it was a nice transitional episode. I didn't even really rewatch it much. There wasn't really much point. It was very straightforward, very getting from one point to the next. And there wasn't really that much to discuss. There was some things, like in terms of the character motivations and who's in the right. A lot of people taking sides, whether it's siding with Ozpin and understanding where he's coming from, or just siding with the girls and everyone else in Crow. Crow in particular, his reaction got some debate, I think. But just in comparison to the episode before, it wasn't really anything. I think most of the debate I had in the comments of episode 4 was still carryover from episode 3. I mean, well, in part because I went on that very long spiel about like the maidens and all that at the start of the last one. I talked for like 13 minutes just theorizing before I even had the reaction part of the reaction video, which was crazy. And I'll try not to do that again. Though to go back to that subject just briefly, I do have some more thoughts about the maidens, and I will say that maybe I came on a little too strong in the last one. I mean, I'm pretty confident in terms of just like I think the implication is pretty clear in my opinion, but I can understand why people might not think that, and it is open enough. This isn't Bumblebee. It's not a sure thing. It's open enough, it's vague enough that there could be other answers, and it's not necessarily the case that the daughters are in fact the maidens. I think it's pretty likely, though. I really genuinely do. Because, for one thing, we didn't really have a tie into the actual maiden story in Oz's story. And you might be saying, oh, but that wouldn't need to be a part of it. That wasn't something he lied about, if it is, in fact, a true thing, obviously. But it is an important, like, the whole... I just feel like if that was the actual truth, it would have tied into the story somehow. It's a significant enough event that I feel like they would have alluded to it at some point. And it's also something that the audience is familiar with. It's something to tie it back to what we already know. So even if they didn't actually get into the origin of the maidens, they might have at least referenced it in a sidelong fashion. They would have had one of the incarnations kind of look like the wizard in the world of Remnant, or done something like that, or at least made like some mention of him like physically withdrawing. I mean, they did sort of say there were incarnations where he did that, but they could have made it a bit more overt and just sort of made the audience go, ooh, that's when the maidens happened. But they didn't really make it that direct, and they didn't really make any like real obvious references to to that story. In fact, the closest it came to really referencing the idea of the story was in a somewhat different fashion, because there isn't really a wizard in the story, but there is a witch, and she lived in a secluded, kind of dilapidated old like house in the middle of the woods, and seemed to be some kind of hermit. She seemed to be just kind of living a secluded life there, not really harming anyone at that point, and just sort of had given up on whatever. And then Oz comes around, they fix the house, obviously we see that, and then she has this new lease on things. And I mean, that's not very much a good thing in this sense, but yeah, that's kind of, it has a very strong parallel to the whole maiden thing. And yeah, I wonder if that was intentional. I mean, it does definitely bear this resemblance, and just the whole idea of the witch versus the wizard. I wonder if that is where the maiden story, in part, actually came from. And I mean, even though it was Oz and not a group of girls, it is where those girls came from. There were 4 girls that resulted from that happening. So, I don't know. I could definitely see that being what they were going for there. But I don't know. And I am going on a little too long, so let's just get to it. I'm sure you guys will all, again, argue with me about that. But I mean, I'm still committed to the idea until we get like information that proves it wrong, which we might eventually. We might get stuff to eventually clue us in that, oh yes, the maidens are in fact, as we have thought all along, that story is true. But again, I mean, kind of one of the themes going back to the very beginning of the show is the power of legends and fairy tales and all that. And the thing with stories that are passed down is that they don't have to be truth. They don't have to be truthful. The truth of the story becomes secondary to the story itself. And it is kind of telling, I think, that the way the maidens are broached back in Volume 3 is by Oz making Pyrrha recount her version of the story, the version she knows. And yeah, he doesn't just say, there are maidens, here's why they exist. He doesn't really go into it like that. He just sort of has her come up with the answer and then kind of lays it all out like he does. So I feel like I think it's the much more interesting answer than us being able to take the story we were told at face value. Though I don't know. And anyway, again, I'm going off on this, and I think it just fascinates me. But I don't know. Let's just start the episode. Let's get into this. I'm really excited. I've heard great things about this episode. People just, I mean, I'm not spoiled. I haven't heard anything about what happens, but people have just been hyping it up, saying it's a great one, best episode of the volume or chapter, and all that stuff, and that I'm really gonna love it. So I don't know. I mean, with how great this volume has been so far, I'm kind of like doubtful that this could really top like chapter 3. I mean, as great as that was, or I mean, the first 3 were all just like perfectly solid. Like I don't think we're gonna beat them, especially not since this chapter is only like 15 minutes. Well, the others were quite a bit longer, I think. I can't really see this being. But I don't know. I mean, you could contain some amazing things in just 50 minutes. It could be, it could be pretty special. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Very excited. So let's finally just go ahead and start this. Here we go. Rooster Teeth. RWBY Volume 6. Cute. Aww. Kind of hoping we do get more Adam this chapter. It's about time. I want to see that develop. Or more Cinder, that would be good too. Salem. Okay. Let's go.
Do you have my information?
Oh. Okay, and we're starting with Cinder. Nice, right back here.
Of course I do, darling. Little Miss always delivers.
I don't doubt it.
Although I can't promise you'll be pleased.
Oh.
Word is they were being board in the August Limited a few weeks back.
Telling the truth.
Well, that isn't exactly far from here. August is rarely a destination for folks. Chances are they'll be going straight to
Atlas.
Yeah.
You know, you turned out to be quite the interesting customer.
Oh.
Cinder.
Oh. We got the name. That's cool.
It's not often a single
They're
client brings me
pretty
double
good.
the business.
Yeah, her little web. Okay. Okay. And we're going straight to it. Here we go. Here we go. She's back. It is official.
Maybe put away the good glasses.
Okay, this is hype right off the bat. This could be a good fight. We got a song. Is this gonna be a Neo song? That would be crazy. I kind of hope it is. I mean, a Cinder song would be good too, but... Can Cinder even use her maiden powers right now? I kind of don't think so. Which I think would give the advantage to Neo. Nice! Though Cinder is surprisingly good at just hand-to-hand combat here. I'm impressed. Wow. Look at her move. Oh. Okay, well, she's got a little bit of power there, a little bit of flame.
That's enough, ladies!
Oh.
I love dinner and a show, but it's time to take it outside.
Yeah. I mean, what did you think would happen? You knew they were... Oh. Yeah, that
Nice
semblance.
trick. You've gotten stronger.
Well, and you probably gotten
So
weaker.
have I.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah, she's probably pretty recovered, I guess. Oh, and she's got the hat. She's got the hat. It fits her well.
I don't have time for your misplaced blame, girl. I didn't kill your boss. If you want revenge, take it up with Little Red.
Yeah, I mean, I think Neo knows who to blame here.
You're not the only one with a grudge against RWBY.
Oh. Oh yeah, 'cause she's full.
That girl dead.
Full strength. And you're not going to be able to beat her. I
So
think she's
quit
realizing that.
wasting your time fighting me. And let's discuss how we kill her together. Okay then. Let's talk. Right.
Yeah. Kind of. I guess that confirms it full on that Neo cannot speak. Interesting, though.
I don't get it. The empty towns I passed through were all damaged or unfinished. But this place looks fine.
That's true. It does. It looks like...
Maybe everyone left in a hurry before things took a turn?
Stay on guard.
Oh. Well... I mean, it's shelter. That's the good part. You, come out of the snow. Find some warmth.
Close the door
Wow.
already!
Yeah. That's,
Cold enough in here
well,
as
you're
it is.
still in the door. Like, I mean, they're not gonna close it before you come in. Like, come on, Maria.
I saw a chimney from the outside. Maybe we could get a fire going?
Please, I'll look for some blankets.
Yang, go with her.
Oh. Yes, go with Blake. Or are we going with Weiss? I don't know.
Looks like a study. Or library?
Probably Weiss. Oh. Okay, this is interesting. Why am I reminded of The Shining?
What do you think?
Just the focus on that picture.
Something doesn't feel right.
Let's look for some.
Oh. Okay, that's a bit... Yeah. This is definitely a turn for horror in my RWBY that I wasn't expecting. Aw. Cute. Something for the few people who ship that still.
It's the same in every house.
What?
Bodies. Every
Wow.
bed in every home.
How did
The whole
that happen?
estate just went to sleep and never woke up.
Staying here.
Yeah, you might want to leave in a hurry
Never a
here.
choice. Storm outside's only getting worse. We'd freeze to death before we made it anywhere.
Well, might as well get comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fat chance.
I don't think you can get very comfortable
Let's do something.
in this spooky
If
place.
this place wasn't abandoned, it might still have supplies we could use.
Hey, yeah. Maybe even a car.
I'll do another sweep of the grounds. No one else goes anywhere alone.
Yang and I can search the other buildings for
Yes,
vehicles.
I approve.
Fine. Whatever gets me out of this house.
Yeah, we don't want to spend too much time in the house or people will complain again. Be volume 5 all over.
Food always makes me feel better.
Aw.
Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, get some food.
Right.
Kind of surprised that Weiss is
I'll
the one
tell
that's
you what.
huddled up for warmth.
You keep that fire fed.
You'd think she'd be the most used to, like, cold
and I'll find
temperatures.
us a story to read before bed.
Okay, interesting. And these two. Come on, give me something I can add to the list. To volume 2.
Something tells me that's not street legal.
What do you think happened here?
There's that well in the square. Maybe water contamination.
Yeah.
Possible?
Maybe.
I'm thinking it's something a bit more
Hey,
sinister.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I mean, no. But I don't know. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, I found something.
Okay, well, cool. Oh, oh, wow! And they're both haunted by this same ass.
I was just seeing things. I'm sorry. I still get flashes from that night.
Oh, we're actually talking about it.
Do you think Adam's still out there?
Actually said his
I don't
name.
know. If he went back to the White Fang, there would have been serious consequences. But he never really liked people telling him what to do. Adam's strong, but his real power comes from control. He used to get in my head, make me feel small. But now I see he just wanted to pull me down to his size.
Oh.
Hey.
I'm not leaving. And if we ever see him again, I promise I'll be there. I'll protect you. What? What?
Come on, just take
Forget
it,
it.
Yang.
Let's just head back.
Let Blake
what about-
protect
We're
you.
fine. We can hook that flap it up to Bumblebee in the morning. Should carry everyone.
Hook it up to Bumblebee. That was sweet. But Yang, still gonna take some work. I'll protect you. Oh, that's cool.
There.
That's quite cool. I didn't know you could do stuff like
On
that.
second thought, maybe we should keep this room closed.
Huh?
I'm just not sure how well my uncle's taking all of this.
Yeah, well, you kind of saw.
Come on, we'll never get to Atlas.
We're gonna get an
and Uncle's
adorable
coming.
White Rose moment too, or no?
Ruby, are we really still going to Atlas?
Oh, okay.
Why wouldn't we be?
I mean, you heard what Jen said. If there's no way to kill Salem,
Oh, that's what's on our mind.
what's the point in all of this?
Okay.
Weiss, you can't be serious.
Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just really tired and I really, really hate this place. Anything in there?
More alcohol.
Wow. Well,
At least we'll never have problems starting a fire.
What's that?
well, don't tell Kuro about that. It might cause problems if he knows.
A wine cellar?
Oh.
Great. What? What is it?
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Canned food.
Oh, trust me, you put enough salt on anything and it will taste just fine.
Well, I guess it's better than nothing.
Aww.
But I still seriously hate this place.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, okay. And what are we planning towards this for? Well, that was great. That was crazy. This season, it just took a very real swing towards like some serious horror stuff. The setup, it's just so spooky. Little Miss Malachite. And the song. Retribution tastes so sweet. I mean, this could be Neo or Cinder. Oh, him for me. Okay, so this is definitely Neo. That's great. We got a Neo song on the soundtrack. I never would have thought that would be something we get. Awesome. Well, there we go. Let's go through this again real quick. Try and see what else I have to say. A lot of focus on Cinder at the start. Neo shows up looking all awesome. And they have this fight, which was really hype. I mean, I'm just so much... It's so different from what we usually see for Cinder, which is why I thought her powers weren't there. Because ever since she's had those powers, she's really relied on them heavily. She's always just sort of... that's been the focus of her fighting style. Now we see her just being really physical and really just using a lot of like martial arts and throws and flips and just all this crazy stuff that I never would have expected from her. And she still does have the powers, and she gets them going pretty damn good there. But like, I wonder what that's all about. Is she? I mean, she can still use them, but is it harder for her to get them going? Or, because she probably could have handled Neo a lot easier if she just started with that up front. Because there is this clear power difference. Which I think is what Neo ultimately respects. I don't think she... I still don't... I mean, I'm not really sure Neo is on board for this to get to Ruby. I don't think she really blames Ruby. I think she's just realized that Cinder is much more powerful than she is. She's not going to beat her. That challenging her is a futile task. So she's playing as if she's on board. She might not necessarily be, though. I mean, maybe Cinder will get in her head and convince her that Ruby is the one to blame. But I kind of hope not. I kind of hope this is sort of just a temporary truce and that Neo has something else in mind. Because I don't think she stops because of what Cinder says. I think she stops because of what she sees. Yeah. Well, she reacts to the wind and stuff swirling around Cinder, so I think that's what she's really, what she's really just affected by is just the power difference, and finally just witnessing that and experiencing that and knowing, I mean, you see the fear on her. It's similar to the fear she showed with Raven, though maybe not quite as pronounced. Because I guess Raven is a bit creepier, a bit scarier. And then we go to the farm, and I just love this. I mean, I know I've already heard some people saying, "Oh, we're back in a house again. It's just like Volume 5," and that is so stupid. If that's really a complaint people are having, because this is just completely different. This is like, I mean, we started off by evoking The Shining, and then we just, every aspect of this is just setting this up as this sinister, spooky place that is completely set against our party here, and it's just immediately fascinating to me. I don't think just saying this is just a house is stupid. Like, maybe what they maybe they heard the house complaints in Volume 5 and they decided, okay, now we're going to show you how interesting a house can be, and that's the whole aim of Rooster Teeth and our writers. I wouldn't be surprised, because I'm really pulled in by this. It's I mean, we got dead bodies sleeping in beds and just this overlying creepiness and heaviness of the mood. It really fits well for where they are as a group now, just with so much weighing on them. And I mean, it's a good distraction. That's one thing that can be said. But and then we have some interesting scenes with the characters. What's this? Maria has this book with a eye on it. I wonder what that's about. I. It could be 1, like Volume 1. It could be a Roman numeral. So are we going to get stuff with her and Oscar? Is that where this is going? She's going to tell Oscar's story? Pretty interested in that. And then we have the Bumblebee scene. And they actually talk about what happened. That's a good first step. First step to actually repairing it. And Blake assures her that she's not going to leave, which Yang needs to hear. And of course, before that, she has the vision of Adam, which, I mean, we just had Blake have a vision of Adam in the first one. If that was a vision, I mean, there's still the chance that it wasn't, and that Adam is in that cart with, not the cart, the train with, the train car with Nora and John and all them, which I don't know. That would be interesting if it was the case. If we get to Argus and just Adam has all of them hostage somehow, that would be crazy. But yeah, we'll see. And then Blake actually tells Yang a little bit about Adam and how he was controlling gas. Oh. And then... Oh. I'm not leaving you. I promise I'll be there. I'll protect you. Okay, so Yang's all smiles until they'll all protect you. So she doesn't want to be protected. She doesn't want to be... And that kind of goes back to what we saw in chapter 1. That Blake... she didn't want the help from Blake either. She doesn't want... She wants Blake to be there. She wants... but she's really particular about doing everything on her own. She doesn't want to be like pitied or looked down upon because she got hurt, or because Blake has this obligation to make it up to her, which is what it is on Blake's end, definitely. I think Yang might be thinking she's looking down on her or something. I don't know, but on Blake's end, it's pretty clear that she just wants desperately to make things right because she really cares, and in a pretty big way. I mean, if you go back to the first chapter, just seeing like how much her emotions hang on every word that Yang is saying, it's kind of crazy. And here it's kind of the same. Just Oh. I feel bad for Blake. I mean, it's gonna take some work. And then we actually... Oh, mission accomplished. We actually call Bumblebee by name. Which I think is the first time we've actually done that. And it's in that scene. So, interesting. And then we switch to White Rose. And, not quite as shippy a scene, but it is a interesting scene. Just hearing that Weiss is so... that just the whole story is weighing so heavy on her heart, and just she has these doubts. It's interesting. Don't know if I mean, I can kind of see why it would be her who would be thinking that way. Who the hopelessness of it would really be especially from her, because she does kind of... She's been there. She's been there in a hopeless situation, a hopeless seeming situation, unable to act, unable to do anything. She's used to that despair, so she slides back into it pretty easily. And I can see she's yeah, I think it makes sense. If this kind of attitude is going to come from any of them, it makes sense that it's going to come from Weiss. Because Yang is a lot more like spirited, and I mean, she was probably having doubts too, but like in a different sort of way, more focused on Oz and all that. And then Blake's actually kind of used to fighting wars that seem beyond her, so I think she might be like prepared for this. And of course Ruby's fine. She's the most pure, she's the most driven, and the most unflappable, really. I mean, she's affected, she's definitely got that emotion to her, but she can take things in stride and keep going. And so can Yang. That's another thing she's learned to do because of what she's been through. So yeah, definitely like this coming from Weiss. I think it makes sense, and it's interesting. And the cellar, I am worried about all the alcohol down here, especially because of the intro, and we have Crow drinking in it. I wonder if that's going to be a route we're going, just really tackling that issue and all that. So I don't know. I mean, I could see him going there with all that's weighing on his mind now. But then the pan to the wine cellar is really, really sinister. That's what we end the episode on. Just spooky sounds, chains, and or something, some mechanism clanking, and then it ends. And yeah, great episode. I mean, that might be my favorite of the volume so far, honestly. We had a cool fight, really cool fight. Neo is back, which I can't emphasize how awesome that is. And there's a really strong Bumblebee moment. It's everything I would really want. I mean, and I love the atmosphere we're going for. I love I'm very actually excited for this this farm arc, however long this ends up lasting. I'm interested to see what happens here and what they have to deal with. There's potential for some really, really different material from RWBY at this location, and I'm very, very interested to see what they do with it. It could be really cool, and it's exciting. It's very exciting, and I hope they don't disappoint. And I'm also just really excited for the Cinder stuff too. I mean, the least interesting thing to me is her trying to get revenge on RWBY. I don't think. I want to see her grow. I want to see her more personal journey. I don't really want to see her going after RWBY just yet. But considering I don't think Neo is fully on the same page as her, I think she's just intimidated. I think there is more to the story yet to come, and I'm interested to see where it goes and how we end up using Neo. Especially since we now know for sure that she cannot speak. That was pretty much confirmed with that scene, and that's going to make it pretty interesting. I can't wait to listen to the full version of that Neo song. That'll be cool. We got Neo back. Just everything in this episode, it's all hype. Chapter 5, Chapter 4 was definitely our transition from one thing to the other. This, though, is a new hypeness, and can't wait to see what happens. Anyway, hope you liked the reaction. Let me know if you did, and see you in the next one.